All right, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Around for the Weekend. It's your sports talk happy hour. I'm your host, Ryan McCarthy. And hey, guess what? It's the weekend. It's NFL draft weekend. And I am actually going to keep this show relatively short tonight, try to get it in within a half hour because I'll be quickly making my appearance on MD's Fantasy Football Show, which is another Belly Up podcast, Belly Up live stream show. Our host Dan Mader, he's basically doing a marathon of the draft. So he did last night. He's going to do round 1 last night, round 2 and 3 tonight, and then tomorrow afternoon he'll be doing rounds 4 through 7. God bless the man. I mean, he is one of he's our fantasy football department head for now. He's also our department head. Head of the department heads. He's been with Belly Up Sports for a very long time, and he's a great guy. And I'll be happy to be on his show tonight. I'll be discussing my New York Jets and a little bit of how it impacts fantasy football, some analysis on that kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to be on that program, and let's have some fun tonight. So if you're watching right now, drop a comment in the comment section. Also, don't forget to like and share. And also subscribe on numerous social media outlets. As you see in the bottom there, I'm doing some scrolling. So Twitter, it's at BellyUpAFTW. Facebook, facebook.com/BellyUpSportsAFTW. And then on YouTube, just search for Around for the Weekend. I am pouring myself a Guinness Nitro Cold Brew Coffee. So that's what I'm pouring tonight. That's what I'm having tonight for in this portion of what you're drinking. That's what I'm drinking. We're not sponsored by Guinness. But hey, Guinness, if you ever want to sponsor me, it's okay. But usually I'm drinking local beers, but I decided to go with this was due to a pinch because I've been feeling kind of run down a little bit this week, and I had some in my fridge, so I figured have some more Nitro Cold Brew Coffee beer. It's only 4%, but it's got coffee and coffee flavoring. So I know that Pabst Blue Ribbon makes a cold brew. Pabst Blue Ribbon. There you go. There's a nice head. Cheers, everyone. We made it. We made it to the weekend. Okay. Not bad. All right. Let's move on to NFL Draft Day chaos. Now, I'll admit, a couple weeks ago, I had Jason from the Pug and Pigskin podcast, and we talked about the NFL draft a little bit. We were kind of in the same consensus that we were just both feeling a little bit tired of it. You get mock drafts every single day. You get trade rumors. You get who's going to be where, and it gets exhausting. It was exhausting. I'd fully admit it was getting to be exhausting. And then came this tweet from Adam Schefter saying that Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay, and that just awakened my soul in terms of the draft. I'm like, okay, I want to watch the draft now. I want to watch the draft. I want to see what happens. I want to see chaos going down. I love it. I'm here for it. So NFL draft chaos started early in the day with Aaron Rodgers trade rumors and rumblings of him being traded to a number of teams. One of the leading contenders right now are the Denver Broncos. Mark Schlereth of local radio in Denver said it was pretty much a done deal, though there's nothing happening yet. I have a feeling they're going to wait until I've been going to wait after the draft and before training camp to trade him. He's also threatened to retire. I guess he wants to be the permanent host of Jeopardy right now. So basically his playing career in Green Bay is in jeopardy. Rim shot. Bad joke. I'm sorry. I also stole it from Kendrick, who's our football head. He said this. His article on Belly Up Sports yesterday, just saying Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay careers in jeopardy. So I stole it from him. I'm really sorry. Sorry, Kendrick. Sorry, not sorry. But let's begin. Let's now we're going to build up. And that kind of got me going. Got me kind of fired up. I went to a local eating establishment, which shall remain named, but it has owls as its mascot, to support my buddy Tom Gozlowski. He's been on the program. Goz, shout out to him. He was basically launching Godzilla Media, which I'm going to be a part of with no credentials required. We're going to my podcast is going to join his network, and we're going to keep our affiliation with Belly Up Sports as well. So it'll be on 2 networks. So more downloads for me, hopefully. But I was supporting him in his first live appearance there. Basically his launch for his new adventure in media. He's been doing some podcasts with Getting There with Goz, but I was there to support him. He was doing a draft party. Oh yeah, support the brand, Belly Up Sports. But he was doing a draft party at this local eating establishment. So I went to support him and eat some fine wings and drink some beers and do some live coverage on my Twitter account, my personal Twitter account. So let's start with the first 2 picks. Let's go into the round 1, how the chaos began. And the first 2 picks, they were pretty predictable. Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence, not a shocker. My New York Jets select Zach Wilson, not really a shocker. And then we get to pick number 3. San Francisco 49ers. They had went out trading up with the Dolphins. And it's a pick through the Texans. LOL, Houston Texans. And they threw the big curve. They threw the first curveball. The first curveball, they picked Trevor Lance. Sorry, not Trey Lance. Trevor Lance. They picked Trey Lance. And there had been a lot of question marks about Trey Lance coming in because he had played so few games. And he's only played 19 games in his career, and he only played 1 game during North Dakota State's football fall, basically exhibition for him. But he became the first real curveball of the night. That kind of set the tone for the night because you didn't know if they're going to pick Mac Jones, they're going to pick Justin Fields. I mean. I guess the difference in the pay scale from pick 1 to pick 10 is significant. It's not huge, but it's significant in that it's more money. The higher you go, the more money you make. So Trey Lance, he's getting he gets selected by San Francisco, and things just kind of fall into place since then. So Atlanta, they picked Kyle Pitts. Great pick for them. I think it's going to rejuvenate Matt Ryan and that Atlanta offense. I know that he needs some help defensively, especially in the pass rush because they can't do anything with the pass rush these days. Ever since Victor Beasley left, but they need some help on that end. But again, this is why we have 7 rounds. This is why we have 7 rounds to make sure that they get anything they need to get in those 7 rounds. Then more chaos came. Cincinnati, number 5 pick. Everybody's expecting them to take Penei Sewell because if he missed last season, last time we saw Joe Burrow, he was getting cut down by Chase from the Washington football team, and he basically had his knee blown out because there was nobody on his blind side to protect him. What's he doing? He's currently recovering. He had surgery. He's currently recovering. I guess he threw some footballs yesterday, did some very light workouts after having his knee basically reconstructed. So you figure, all right, they'll pick Penei Sewell. He's going to be protecting Joe Burrow's blind side for the next decade or so. Nope. They pick his primary receiver from LSU, Jamar Chase. Now, I know Cincinnati's been looking for a replacement since AJ Green signed with Arizona. He went to be with the AARP group in Arizona, along with JJ Watt and some other guys who are in their later years. The south side of 30, but north enough in their NFL careers that they probably won't play for another couple. They're probably winding up their careers. And I understand the pick, but I don't understand the pick too, because Cincinnati needed offensive line help. They needed an elite tackle on the left side to protect Joe Burrow for the next decade. Up until Burrow's season was cut short, the line had the Bengals offensive line had given up 32 sacks. He was sacked 32 times in that time span, in those first 10 weeks, and then one bad sack, and your quarterback's done. So I expected them to pick Penei Sewell. They wound up taking Jamar Chase. That was perplexing. I found that absolutely perplexing because, just again, your quarterback is only as good as how your line protects him. Your running back is only going to be as good as how your offensive line is going to block downfield for him, or open some holes and make some ways for him, open up a lane for him. Your offense runs only as good as your offensive line. You could have all the weapons you need. You could have the best quarterback in the league. You could have the best running back in your backfield. You could have the best wide receivers and tight ends catching every single ball. But it's not going to make dilly squat unless you protect your quarterback and protect your running back and protect all your assets. And that pick just perplexed me. I get it. Jamar Chase, he's otherworldly talent. But I just felt that the Bengals could have picked up Penei Sewell. The next pick, Dolphins from the Eagles. They picked Jillian Waddle. He'll make a great slot receiver. He'll get some separation off the line. Quick guy until he got hurt last year for Alabama. I think he was basically the number one Heisman contender until he got hurt, and Devontae Smith, his teammate, which we'll get to later, wound up winning the Heisman. Then Detroit, number 7. They got the steal. I think they got the steal of the draft so far, picking up Penei Sewell. They haven't had an elite left tackle since Lomas Brown. I'm sure Detroit Lions fans are getting a tear in their eye because Lomas Brown was part of the offensive line that opened up lanes and created holes for Barry Sanders for the good part of the 1990s. And Lomas Brown was 7-time Pro Bowler, elite tackle, one of the arguably the greatest offensive linemen in Detroit Lions history. I don't know if one of the co-founders of Belly Up Sports, Mike, is watching. He'll probably chime in and say, I'm absolutely right. I know I'm right. I played offensive line. I know I'm right. So Penei Sewell dropping down to the Detroit Lions is going to be. I think it's going to be a game changer for the Lions, because if they can find themselves an elite quarterback, they're going to have Jared Goff. They're going to have multiple first round picks for the next 3 seasons. Thank you, LA Rams, for doing that. So Goff's a good enough quarterback that he can. Goff's a good enough quarterback. He's not elite yet. He's getting there. I think he just needs the right coaching, and he needs the right receivers to help him get to a level, and also he needs a good running game to help support him. I think that's what happened with Mark Sanchez and the Jets all those years ago. Mark Sanchez had 2 very good seasons in New York, led the Jets to 2 AFC title games, and then the Jets made the mistake of thinking he could handle more responsibility and basically handed him the ball, abandoned the running game altogether, because they had the best run game in the league for the last two years of the early 2000s, of the 2000s decade, and the wheels fell off the wagon, and Mark Sanchez was never the same. I think if you give Jared Goff a decent running game or an elite running game, if Dan Campbell can produce a good running game for him, I think Goff can be a very good quarterback. And he now has a left tackle to protect his behind for the next 10, 15 years in Penei Sewell. I thought he was going to drop. I thought the Jets were going to pick him up until they dropped enough. They dropped far enough until they kept the number 2 because they were in the hunt for Trevor Lawrence for all of last year. But as soon as Wilson decided to make his announcement to declare for the draft, they basically were stuck on Zach Wilson. I thought Penei Sewell would have done pretty well as a right tackle because Mekhi Becton is our current left tackle, and we saw a lot of what he did last season. So yep. Detroit Lions, again, I think was the steal of the first round with Penei Sewell just dropping down to him. And I don't know if you saw the video of the war room for the Detroit Lions, but they start celebrating. They're all hugging each other and giving themselves, everybody high five each other. It was an interesting sight to see. Like they won the Super Bowl. Oh, wait. Yikes. Sorry, Detroit. Okay, so moving on. Carolina, they pick up the first. They broke the streak of offensive players being selected. They picked J.C. Horn, cornerback from South Carolina. That's a solid pick there. Denver picks up the next best corner in the draft with Patrick Surtain the second. Then the chaos really starts, and I was so happy to see the chaos. So first thing we see, the Eagles trade up from 13. Eagles trade up from 13. They swap positions with Dallas, which has a lot of has a lot of Eagles and Cowboys that time saying, what the hell? But the Eagles had a reason for doing so, and they pick up Devontae Smith for the Heisman, the reigning defending Heisman Trophy winner from Alabama as the 10th pick in the draft. You've got Jalen Hurts, former teammate. He knows all about Devontae Smith. He knows how he's played with him. He's played with him, so he knows his stuff. And that new offense is going to be coming into Eagles land. Jared from Corner Booth, if you're watching, chime in. I want to know what you think about this particular pick and train with the Cowboys. And then on the clock, the New York Giants on the clock. Oh wait, the Bears trade up. The Bears decided to trade up from 20 because they had their eye on a certain quarterback from Ohio State named Justin Fields. Now, the last time the Bears traded up to get a quarterback was in 2015, and that didn't end so well. Bears fans would like to erase that memory from their data banks when their GM traded with Houston. I mean, it was Houston or Kansas City. I think it was Kansas City to get Mitch Trubisky, who is now the backup for Josh Allen in Buffalo. So great job there. Great job there, Chicago. But I think the Bears saw what they wanted in Justin Fields. And hey, it's not a bad place to land. And I'll get to what the Giants got late in a moment or two. But Fields is going to sit behind Andy Dalton for a season. He's probably going to learn from Nick Foles. Nick Foles is going to be his mentor for a season. He's going to learn Matt Nagy's offense for a season. And from there, who knows what happens? He's going to have Allen Robinson as his wide receiver. He's going to have some help in the backfield with Tariq Cohen. The Bears can be a good team. They've got a decent defense, but for some reason they can't get their offense going. They haven't been able to get their offense going over the last couple seasons, even though they went to the playoffs 2 years ago, and they haven't found the right answer at quarterback. So, they decided to take another gamble and trade up to get another elite quarterback. And it's crazy what the Giants got back in return. So if I'm not mistaken, this is from my memory, but this is back from my memory. I'll go ahead and I'll correct myself later. But in exchange for that pick, the Giants get the pick at 20. They also get I think they got a 4th round pick this year from the Bears. And they get the Bears 20, the Bears 1st round pick next season and a 5th round pick. So Dan Gettleman kind of fleecing the Bears a little bit there. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it pays off for the Bears. Didn't last time that happened, but Justin Fields seems to be a rated quarterback. He was highly rated enough to be in top 10 consideration, but he's number 11. That's okay, and that's okay. So, chaos continuing. Dallas Cowboys. They get the pick from the Eagles, and they select Micah Parsons, and that was a good pick because David Lee just retired, and figure, all right, we'll get ourselves another Penn State linebacker. There you go, Micah Parsons. Good tackler. He'll probably play the edge. He can play the edge. You can play middle linebacker. Not a bad pick. Chargers. Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle, Northwestern. They're building to protect Justin Herbert. Fantastic pick. And then more chaos came. My New York Jets traded up from 23 via Seattle with the Vikings. Vikings get 2 third-round picks in addition to the 23rd pick this year. The Jets get the Vikings' 4th-round pick and the number 14 pick in the draft, and they select Ajaya Vera Tucker from USC. And I was thinking they were going to pick somebody like Najee Harris or Travis Etienne or another wide receiver. No, they need all the help they can get on the offensive line, and Joe Douglas has been slowly but surely rebuilding the line. And actually, the Jets just selected a wide receiver, pick number 2 of round 2, Elijah Moore from Ole Miss. All right, so weapons. They're finally got quarterback, guard. They're getting the wide receiver. They're building weapons. Okay. So I saw the Brian Baldinger's film on AVT, and he loves getting physical. Gets to that first level, then gets to the second level. That left side of the Jets is going to be so good, hopefully, with Becton on that tackle, AVT at guard. I know he played tackle a little bit, but I think they're going to make him a guard, along with Cameron Clark at center. They'll have Connor McGovern at center. Clark will probably play off right tackle, and then left tackle will be George Font, but that's my projection. I don't know for sure. That's up to Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas to figure out. Okay, so chaos raining down. New England, again, it was a night of chaos because players who we didn't expect to be at a certain position got to the team that they were the teams that they were hoping to go to. New England Patriots, they pick Mac Jones, quarterback of Alabama. The happiest guy in the world right now is our friend Kev from Belly Up. He is a University of Alabama alum. He's also a huge Patriots fan. And aforementioned, my buddy guys, Mac Jones reminds me of a Lego. He may go to Lego movie He may be the next Lego movie for we know, guys. I don't know. We'll see. But New England get Mac Jones, dropping down to them. They can cut the lucky stars like the Lions did with Penei Sewell. And then after that, not a whole lot of surprising picks. Arizona picking up Zaven Collins from Tulsa. Raiders picking up Alex Leatherwood from Alabama. Solid offensive tackle. They need the help on the O-line. Miami getting their 2nd pick of the night. They pick Jalen Phillips from Miami. He doesn't have to move that far. Washington football team building up that defense with Jamin Davis from Kentucky. Giants getting their pick from the Bears. They pick up Kadarius Toney from Florida. Obviously, they're looking for a target for Daniel Jones to throw to. So maybe he's that target. Indy Colts, they pick up Kwity Paye from Michigan. Tennessee Titans, Caleb Farley, corner from Virginia Tech. The Vikings, through the Seahawks, through the Jets, pick up Christian Darrisaw from Virginia Tech. Pittsburgh Steelers, not perplexing, but not surprising. They decide to pick up Najee Harris. Their O-line needs some work. They have they have a very good offense. Todd Haley has built an offense centered around Ben Roethlisberger, who's probably going to play till he's 50 there. So they got some help, more running back help for him because James Conner's gone. So Najee Harris was a pretty solid pick there, but I thought they could have gone with Travis Etienne. And speaking of Travis Etienne, Jacksonville from the Rams selecting Travis Etienne. Perfect. They picked up Trevor Lawrence's teammate, and there's your 1-2 punch. Cleveland run things up here. Cleveland Browns select Greg Newsome the second from Northwestern, corner. Baltimore Ravens, one of their 2 picks, pick up Rashad Bateman from Minnesota. New Orleans, they get edge Peyton Turner from Houston. Green Bay Packers, who I thought were going to move up to number 3. I won't lie. With by trading to San Francisco, but well, that remains to be seen. Anyway, so Green Bay Packers pick up Eric Stokes, corner from Georgia. Buffalo Bills, they need some offensive line help, but they pick up a defensive lineman. They pick up Gregory Rousseau who's an edge rusher from Miami. Baltimore Ravens, from Kansas City Chiefs in the Orlando Brown trade, they pick up Jason Awe, edge from Penn State. We are. And then the last but not least, number 32, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They select Joe Tryon, edge from Washington. That wraps up the first round of utter chaos, and I am here for it. I love the chaos. It's got me back. It got my draft interest peaked again. So I'm very happy that. Thank you, Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay, for setting off a tone of getting me back in the draft, getting me interested in the draft again. I'm very happy that I can enjoy this night of chaos. And night 2 just started, and right now the Miami Dolphins are on the clock because LOL Houston Texans. All right, so I got a couple minutes left in the show. First thing I want to do is I just want to acknowledge the fact that a year ago, last Saturday, was the first pilot episode of A Round for the Weekend. And I kind of saw it in my memories on Facebook because I couldn't remember the exact day of when A Round for the Weekend went live, and it happened to be April 24th, 2020. I had the watermelon Warheads from Artisanal Brewworks. That was my first beer I ever drank on here. And I got the chance to drink a beer and talk sports. And now I do that most Fridays. So for those of you who have stuck around, thank you for sticking around. For the 3 people who are currently watching, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Also on the replay, if you're watching on the replay, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I also want to thank Belly Up Sports for giving me the opportunity to not only write, but also live stream this show and rekindle my podcast and restarting my podcast. No credentials required. So, I'm hoping to do some more stuff on here. I'm also going to try and do some more stuff. I'm going to try to really get things ramping with no credentials required too, because we got some pretty cool stuff happening in the Albany, New York area. That's going to be my main coverage for no credentials required. For this show here, Around for the Weekend, I'm going to focus. That's going to be the focus of. That's going to be national sports. So like football, anything that's football, baseball, hockey, playoffs starts, and NHL playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs starting soon. Baseball season is starting to ramp up. MLS, I might cover a little bit of MLS. We'll see. But thank you again to everyone at Belly Up Sports for supporting this particular show. Really do appreciate it. And I hope to continue with Around for the Weekend for the next, for however long this goes for. We'll see. I didn't think I would make it to this point I didn't think I would make it a year. And here I am a year later. So thank you, Belly Up Sports. Appreciate your support. All right, before we go, I'm going to go quick shout out to one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, and that is Symbol. Wall Street meets sports gambling in this innovative app. Symbol brings the fun of being able to play for the long term by purchasing, selling, and trading stocks of your teams. When your team wins, you win a payout. When they lose, you don't. Just like the stock market. The value of your team's share is all that matters, and it's easy to use. Just download the Symbol app on your Play Store or iTunes and use the promo code BellyUpFantasy for a $10 deposit of at least $10 or more. Join the fun of investing in your team for the long haul, where the sportsbook edge is put back into your hands as the player. For the latest and most fun in sports gambling, download Symbol, and again, use the promo code BellyUpFantasy for your $10 deposit bonus today. Last word goes to Kev. You've been here a year. Well, I've been with Belly Up Sports since last January, but this show has been on for a year. Amidst several interruptions, either because of church duties or I just had other stuff going on a Friday. I moved to a Saturday. But yeah, this show's been on for a year. So thanks for acknowledging that, Kev. If you missed my live read from last week, it's on replay. Go check it out. I actually read my partnership shout out was actually Belly Up Kev. He literally paid me 69 cents. Nice. To read an ad. To read an ad for him. So that's on last week's episode. Go ahead and check it out. Anywho, let's go wrap things up here. I'm going to head over to the MD Fantasy Football channel in just a few minutes. Actually a little while, because round 2 starting to pick things up. So the last two picks have gone, and let me go ahead and show you where to go to watch me during the third round of the draft. Where is it? One second. Sorry. Let me go ahead and share where that's going to be checked out. There's where you can check it out. Belly Up MD FF show. That's where you can check it out. He's actually going live stream right now. And there it is. So I'll be on there during the third round. And I was going to talk about the Jets' 2 third-round picks, but unfortunately they've been dealt to the Vikings. So I guess we'll talk about the Vikings third-round picks. But anywho, that's where I'll be in roughly about an hour or so. You can go ahead and check that out. Again, it's at BellyUpMDFF show on Twitter. Stop by, say hello, and we'll talk some fantasy football. We'll talk some football. Talk about the NFL draft. All right. So again, thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Around for the weekend. I'm here most Fridays. Now at 7:30 p.m. Decided to push it up tonight to 7 o'clock because of me appearing on this on the MD's Fantasy Football show. But folks, have a great weekend. Be safe. Be responsible. Cheers. Have a great weekend.